Good morning. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 3. I am just about to head out for a walk, but I thought before I did that, I would sit down, say hello, and share the progress on my cowl and my scrappy Advent socks and open the mini for Day 3. But before I do that, I just wanted to say I've noticed there are a lot of comments on yesterday's Vlogmas, and while I haven't gone through and read them all thoroughly or acknowledged them yet, I just wanted to say thank you to the many of you who have reached out with such kind words of support for our future daughter-in-law, our son, and our family in general. So it is very much appreciated. It means a lot to me. As a general rule, I don't respond individually to Vlogmas comments the way I do with regular episodes. Because I'm recording every day, it just gets to be too much. But I do read them all, and if you're on YouTube, you'll see a heart. If you're on Ravelry, you'll see a love. And of course, if you ask a direct question or there's the odd thing I feel like it needs a response, I will leave the odd comment. But in general, I don't. But know that I read them all and they are much appreciated. I was in touch with our son this morning, and he said they both had a good night's sleep last night. So his fiance is feeling, so far anyway, better today than yesterday, and the only symptoms he has so far is some tightness in his chest. So yeah, hoping for continued good news on that front. On to happier things. So last night I did a lot of knitting and unknitting and re-knitting on my cowl. I just wasn't focused as what it came down to. But by the time I went to bed, I had finished the stripe for the day, so I was really happy about that. So here it is. I'll bring that close so you can see those lovely speckles. I did notice when I went to work on this last night, I realized that this row here should have been knit. It was like a return row, a wrong side row. I should have knit it, not purled it. But, it's not that noticeable. And since this is where it's going to join, chances are that part's going to end up being at the back of my neck every time anyway. Because it's like a what do you call that? Infinity cowl. It's going to be long, so I am not ripping it back for that. Although I do appreciate how well the garter stitch on either side of this row really does make the colors pop, but that's okay. I can live with that. So yeah, I got this done last night before I went to bed, and then this morning I worked on the socks. I took my other scrappy Advent socks and calculated how many rows it would take to get them to be the length I wanted them to be, and worked out that with every color I should knit 7 rows. And so that's what I did. So there's sock 1. I only had 2 more rows on the toe that I needed to do with the color 2. So the vast majority of the toe is in one color. And I do have both done. I had plenty of yarn to do this, and I was left with 5 grams, and after doing that I still have 2 grams left. So I'm just going to keep them in their original bag. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with, I don't have any of the purple left from day 1 because I did the toe. So I just have a few couple of ends like this long. So I should have, when I'm all done, 22 or 23 little balls. Don't know what I'll do with them yet, but I'm going to hang on to them, and I'm going to just keep them in their little packages so I know which one goes where. And speaking of, there is a day 3, so let's find out what's inside of there and how it's going to look next to day 2. That's one of my favorite things. I love seeing how they progress. So, let's see. Oh, I was wondering, because of the colors in the speckle, I was wondering if it was going to be possibly blue or teal. It is blue. So let's see how that's going to look next. Oh yes, that's a beautiful transition. That's going to look so nice. So after my shower, I'll probably sit down and wind this, but I have some bananas, really ripe bananas that need using up. So I'm going to make some banana bread after I get back and showered. And I asked my son if they wanted some, and I got a yes with a happy face. So I will probably divide the loaf in half and go make a special delivery this afternoon. So those are my plans for the day. One thing I didn't mention is with my socks. That's all tangled up here. I'm going to do a short row heel on them. And just knowing from doing the toe, I don't think I'll have enough to do a whole heel with what I have left. Well, to do a whole heel on both. So anyway, I will pull some scrap yarn out, or I've ordered some minis actually from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. And if they arrive in time, and if one of them complements these colors, then I'll add that in. I'm just looking at this this blue, and it looks very much like the denim colorway that I've already knit with, and I have some of that left over. So I may use that for the heel on these socks. We'll see. It's they're scrappy, and I'm just going to see how they unfold, because after all, it is a mystery. All right, so I'm going to head out for a walk. It's another lovely day. I can see blue sky. Maybe I'll give you a look in a sec. I can see blue sky, but there are clouds this morning. But I've seen people walk by with coats and hats and mitts, so I will probably do the same, put some mittens and or gloves and a hat on to go. But I usually walk pretty fast, so I get heated up. I don't want to be too hot. So yeah, why don't I turn you around? You can see the view that I'm looking at right now, which I never ever get tired of. So I'll do that right now. Hang on. I gotta flip down my screen so I can see what's happening from behind. There you go, that's what I'm looking at. You can see the mesh pattern because I'm looking through the screen. And you can see there's still a lot of dirt on our backyard there, but we did end up actually tidying up our gardens and putting our drip lines in place. So come spring, once we put plants in, we'll get some bark mulch and cover those drip lines up. So it just looks a little bit tidier for winter, even though it's still kind of a mud pit out there. All right, I will check in with you later. Now that's what I call banana bread. It turned out really well today. So I'm going to let that cool a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go take some over to our son's place. Okay. Okay, Christine, this backdrop is for you. She was wanting to see more of the picture that hangs over our couch. So there you go. It is by a husband and wife team named Schaefer Miles, and we bought it while we were on a cruise a few years ago. And we have another smaller one a little bit further down the wall that way. So I just got back from my son's where I did a drop at the door. I took the banana bread over while it was still nice and warm. He was very appreciative to receive it. I had a very brief visit with him from the safety of my car. He looks fine. He said he got tested today, and so he'll know for sure soon whether or not he is in fact positive for COVID. He's still just experiencing that mild tightening in his chest. So we shall see how things go over the next few days. I have just made a cup of tea. The timer rang just a couple of minutes ago, so I'm going to do that. I've cut myself also a piece of warm banana bread. So I'm going to eat that and drink my tea while I go check out all the Facebook and Ravelry messages. So thank you once again for those. Really appreciate it. Doesn't that look good? I'll tell you in a minute. Yes, it definitely passes the taste test. Sorry to talk with my mouth full. Not sorry. Shall we see what's in today's little drawer? Hard to do this one-handed. I see number 3 down here in the corner. Oh, it's another twofer. So this one, that's chocolate covered caramel. And this one is coconut. That's one of my favorites. So those will go good with a cup of tea after dinner. Too close to supper time now. So I'll turn day 3 around. Oh, it's a little more interesting than day 1. So actually this was day 2 yesterday, so they kind of look the same. All right, Cameron is on his way home, so I am going to go get supper started. Thought you might enjoy seeing our Christmas lights. I always have to remember to turn them on because we bought some light sensing lights this year, so we haven't been having to turn on our porch lights anymore. And now with the Christmas lights, we do have to remember. And I usually don't remember until it's pitch black outside. Anyway, that is it for Vlogmas Day 3. I will see you tomorrow.